I was somehow lucky enough to receive an invitation to the Dawntrail Media Tour, where I was given the opportunity to test out the level 100 iterations of all 21 of the game's jobs. In order to make sure you can get all the information you want quickly, I've sectioned each of my Media Tour videos into 3 sections. Firstly comes the changes and additions, including tooltips. Then I will talk more in depth on how I feel about the jobs. It's here that I'll talk about the various little bits and pieces that I tested, how this will shift their playstyle, and give you a bit of a primer of exactly what to expect going into the next expansion. Lastly, at the end of the video, I will have a full list of the jobs tooltips from the Media Tour build, including traits. Do please bear in mind that what I played was a development build, and it's totally subject to change, especially potencies, so don't take this as a final product, but it can be very useful to see intention and direction from the developers. Additionally, I had very limited time to test everything, and our play session was at like 400 ping due to needing to route the server access through North America, then all the way to Japan. So what you're going to be seeing from me is definitely not peak gameplay. My apologies, I did the best I could with what we had access to. They get Ethereal Shift, this gap closer which we also saw showcased in the job action trailer. This is a non-targeted straight line movement ability. If you want to liken it to anything, it is basically a copy of Dancer's Onavant. That said, Onavant is 10 yarms, whereas Ethereal Shift is 15, so it goes an entire 1/3 extra distance. You also get this ability unlocked at level 40, the same as Sage's Icarus, so when you log into the game on Dawntrail release, you'll instantly be able to play around with it. Medica 2 receives a straight upgrade. In fact, all the healers will see a new version of their de facto AoE healing spell, and in a shocking twist, it's called Medica 3. After using Presence of Mind, they gain 3 stacks of the Sacred Sight buff, which lasts for 30 seconds, and what this does is it changes the Presence of Mind button itself into Glare 4. This new instant GCD offensive attack hits for 570 potency and deals AoE damage with drop-off. Divine Caress is a new off-global combo action coming off of Temperance, and this is your level 100 skill. This is a 400 potency AoE shield which lasts for 10 seconds, and when the shield either expires or is broken, you then get a 200 potency AoE regen for another 15. On top of that, we got a second charge of Tetragrammaton, and yes, I finally know how to pronounce it correctly. And that, aside from potency changes and so on, is pretty much it. White Mage really didn't change in terms of its moment-to-moment gameplay almost at all, but what it did get is its first ever AoE shield, which is absolutely huge value and has a lot of freedom of use because that Divine Grace proc, the buff that lets you execute Divine Caress, it lasts for 30 seconds. Gaining access to an AoE shield and regen without needing to cast the newly upgraded Medica 3 certainly is a big boost to the Kane wielder's portfolio. Also, the new stacks of Glare 4, which come from Presence of Mind, they are so good. So White Mage traditionally has fairly limited movement during their 2-minute burst windows, right? Because Presence of Mind increases their speed, making it a little bit tougher to effectively slide cast, and it reduces the amount of distance that you can cover with each GCD. Because your new Glare 4s will likely take place within that Presence of Mind window, and their instant cast, it essentially gives you 3 whole GCDs of free movement within your burst window, every time guaranteed free of charge. That's insane. What's even better is Glare 4 is not a combo, so you can, for example, use a Glare 4, then cast a couple of normal glares, and then use another one, and so on. The freedom this provides is really exciting to me, honestly. I'm also pretty big on Ethereal Shift. It's just a lot of fun to slip and slide around, and especially within those Glare 4 windows, it's nice to have. I do think, on the whole, this is less valuable than Sage's Gap Closer, but I like that we have this additional tool now. On the whole, White Mage is still very much the same in terms of gameplay, but a few of its major weaknesses were shored up, and with its now absolutely incredible movement capabilities and AoE shielding, became even more multifaceted in the way that it can deal with incoming problems. If you like White Mage now, you'll love it in Dawntrail. I'm basically done talking about my thoughts, but I'll leave you firstly with the tooltips on everything that was added or changed for the Media Tour build of Dawntrail White Mage, and secondly, while you take a look at them, my thanks for watching this video. I really do appreciate you taking the time to listen to my thoughts. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll be genuinely curious to see what you think based on what you've seen and heard today, so please do let me know in the comments section if you have any additional questions.